Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special podcast episode of Sports Talking with JB 2025 March Madness preview. Of course, I'm your boy JB right here. I got a very special guest sitting right here with me on the platform, about to tear it down. Y'all probably saw we did a show about some months ago. We did a show. And this is my friend, man. Very great at what she does. Jocelyn knows sports. Jocelyn Thomas, welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
We good. Everybody in the chat, y'all get in the chat, man, with us. First things first, please hit the like button when you're watching. As soon as you come in here, hit the like button. Share this to your people. Subscribe to the channel. We are surpassed 500 subscribers. So that's an accomplishment. Finally, it took a while. Now y'all got to get me to 1,000 by football season. But that's something later. Right now, we are talking March Madness. It's going down next week, I believe. We got tournament games coming up, and then the March Madness will begin. So before we do that, get in the chat. If you got any questions, any comments, y'all get in the chat. Like I said, Jocelyn knows her sports. She especially knows basketball. And you reached out to me about this, Jocelyn, about doing this show.
So let me say first things first, because I talk with my hands a lot. Don't be overly concerned about me. Players mess up sometimes too. And I sprained my middle finger on my right hand, which is my dominant hand. So I have been living life pretty left-handed this week. But we getting there. So I just wanted to take the elephant in the room. So somebody in the chat like, man, what's going on with Jocelyn, man?
No, you good. You know, like I say, I thought you tried to cross somebody up and the ball got jammed your finger. You had to wrap it up.
Bro, just because I'm a player, that don't mean I play. If I get the ball out there, that means I'm about to hoop. I don't play.
You retired. Now. You retired. I forgot.
I think I ain't got no other choice.
You look like you're flicking everybody off when you do that now.
I know, it would be the middle finger, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, sometimes it is what it is, but you good. You're going to heal up. You're going to be right back in action. Hey, it's all good.
But I really wanted to talk March Madness because I am going on a trip next week, and I didn't realize that I was going on a trip that will take me away from Selection Sunday.
Wow.
And it will also take me away from the first round of the March Madness tournament, which is something I don't think I've ever done. I've always been a part of it. So I wanted to be able to talk to JB about some of our opinions about March Madness before I come back to town, and I missed a good portion of that first round. And I always feel like, I don't know about the other sports fans out there, but Selection Sunday in the first round is probably the most exciting part of the tournament to me. You get to see all those Cinderella stories. I love to see a good HBCU get their opportunity in the tournament. Mm-hmm. A lot of teams that don't get as much notoriety as the other teams. So that's the fun and the thrill, I think, of the Selection Sunday in that first round.
Yeah. So if all the sports fans out there, you know what the rules are. You don't schedule weddings or vacations during Super Bowl, football season. You know what I'm saying? Like during football season. You don't schedule Saturdays, you leave those open, right? Now, March Madness, I don't know who scheduled your trip, Jocelyn, but whoever scheduled your trip did not do you a service because you're going to miss this thing. But it's okay.
It's our last trip.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, got my boy Seaway in here, Northside in the chat. What's up?
You know it. I would throw it up, but I can't.
I throw it up for you. Yes, sir. So I don't know why the chat box coming up so big. This is something new.
I like it. Hey,
it is what it is.
One thing about life, we will keep evolving, and sometimes
yes, sir.
that actually helped me because I'm over here crippled. So the bigger it come up, I can actually see it.
Okay. Well, look, before we get started, y'all, I want to give you a shout out before we get started. So first of all, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations to Jocelyn Thomas right here on the show with me. Amazon bestseller. She is a contributing author to this book. Can you tell the people about this book real quick before we before we move on?
That you are so amazing. I appreciate that. So I honestly, people tell me I don't highlight myself enough. It's not because I'm so humble. I am pretty humble, but like I actually kind of forget. I get busy with life, and I kind of go from one thing to the next. But
Right.
I'm very proud of this. This is the first time I've ever been an author of any sorts. And I found out, obviously, I'm a best selling author, which is crazy to me to even say. But a wonderful lady named Dr. Harriet, who I met at a networking event, she and 17 other authors, thank you, we all got together and gave a story, our personal story and inspiration of what makes us successful women. For me, it's a touchy thing. I don't necessarily consider myself as successful. I mean, I could be a success story to some. It
Right.
just kind of depends on how you write your story. But I do think my life has definitely changed from my humble beginnings in Montgomery, Alabama. You know it, North
Mm-hmm.
Side all day.
Yes.
But to me, I'm always that same person. So like it is giving me more of a voice to kind of tell the story how I went from that to where I am now. But I think that's what makes me who I am. I'm humble enough to know that I'm that same person. So
Well, y'all see it right there, man. Successful women's devotional, contributing author right there, #1 bestseller. And I'm actually on Amazon right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm gonna get me a copy.
I appreciate
I'm getting
that.
me
I
a copy.
appreciate that so
Yeah,
much. Yes,
I got to,
yes,
I got to get me one. See where I'm gonna send you a link. I'm gonna send you the link, brother. Matter of fact,
yes. Please
matter of fact,
do.
tell the people where they can get this book at, and because I'm on your IG and you got the link in your IG, so you want to tell the
So
people where they
it's
can get
more
it.
than one way to skin a cat, as I would tell anyone. So it kind of depends on the type of reader you are. If you're a digital reader, the link is on my IG profile, Jocelyn Knows Sports. That's my name on most of all my social profiles.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go straight to Amazon and get the digital link. If you would like an autographed copy, I do have some friends and family who've asked me to sign a copy of the book for them. Just hit me up. Justin, I'm sorry, JB. JB has my personal information, but you can
Yes,
also I can put it in the chat, or he could put it in the chat since I can barely type my email address, and I will happily, with love, sign and mail a personal book to you.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So I had to congratulate you on
Thank
that, man, because
you.
that's a big achievement. I mean, to just be to be an author, to be just in everything you have done, your ESPN work, all the stuff you have done, from the past to now and in the future, is part of your journey. So to have that and to have, a portion of that book that's a #1 Amazon bestseller, that's great. You winning in
I appreciate that.
all facets of life. You are winning right now.
I appreciate that. Life is crazy. I tell everybody that whoever, talks or offers or wants to offer advice or wants
Mm-hmm.
me to offer advice, just do the work. God already has it mapped out for you, no matter what your religion is.
Right.
But I do the work. I've never not done the work. You've known me for years. I mean,
Always doing the work.
I wouldn't say I'm a hustler or nothing like that, but I'm smart enough, and I kind of talk about that in the book. I'm smart enough to know I'm not the best at anything, but there's nobody ever that's gonna outwork me, because that's the one
Mm-hmm.
thing you can control. That's the one variable of your life you can control. And from my time at Disney to my time at ESPN to my time at the U.S. Army, whatever I did, I just did my absolute best and never let anybody outwork me. And that is a journey of success. Just never
Yes.
be outworked.
Well, you are blessed. So
I appreciate
I
that.
had to put you up on the pedestal real quick before we actually get to talking this hoops. You know what I'm saying? So that's just
So
me.
you're
That's the
trying to
friend
cushion
in
the
me.
blow, huh? You trying to tell me you're gonna pick some teams against me?
No. Ain't
Oh,
nothing.
okay, okay,
Hey,
okay.
I don't even know who you picking. We may be on the same page, but we about to find out.
Okay,
We,
we're about to
we
find out.
yeah, we definitely about to
In my
find out.
Dolby voice, let me find out.
All right, so here we go, y'all. Let's get to it. So, first of all, this the AP Top 25 for the men that just came up yesterday, actually. So, looking like those top 14s are gonna be #1 seeds. You see, Bama at 5, Auburn dropped to 3. But I couldn't find the women's top 25 like this for some reason. I think they being a little hypocritical because y'all need to put the women top 25 like this, just like y'all do the men. I don't like that. I
I
couldn't
think
find it.
one of the things, obviously I'm all about supporting women's sports. I think one
Yeah.
of the things is the women actually just completed their tournament, their
Mm,
conference tournaments, and the men haven't started yet. So
yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why it's delayed. But I know right now UCLA is number one, South Carolina's number two. I want to
Mhm.
say Texas slid to number five, but I'll pull
Okay.
it up over here too.
Okay.
But yeah,
All
they
right.
just completed their tournaments. I think UConn was the last team last night to win the Big Ten.
Right. And that's why I picked tonight to actually do the show because I wanted the women to be done with their show so we can actually, actually talk about who's gonna be in what place. But it's all to the good. I just couldn't find where they had the women place like that. But let's go ahead and do this because you gave me your list of the top 5 teams that could win it all, right? You actually gave me 6 teams.
Cause
You gave me
so
6 teams. I asked for 5, Jocelyn.
I
Hold on. Let me get you right real quick. Now I asked for 5 teams, right? And you gonna put such and such slash such and such. How can you? So you got 2 number 5s?
we're from the same neighborhood. You got one in the possible, and you hope that possible walk.
Come on. I said 5. You gonna come with
I
6?
had five and a P.
Oh Lord. Okay.
That
Okay.
possible may walk,
And
but no,
I raised you one too, but we're gonna get to it because I added one too that you left out, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself for leaving this team out. Let's just get to it. Let's go ahead and get
it
to
better
it.
not be Alabama.
Anyway, first team. Damn, they covered the whole thing. South Carolina. So you got South Carolina. The first team was on your list.
They're my
Why
favorite.
is South Carolina? You think they're gonna win it all?
The reason why I think South Carolina can win it all because they have the best coach in college sports.
Mm-hmm.
What Dawn Staley is able to do with her, I know everybody wants to say she has All Americans, she has All Americans, but she does not necessarily have a top number one player. She doesn't have that one player on her team that's going to be the first round of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have that one player that's up for like player of the year. How South Carolina is winning this year is purely on her coaching. I will honestly say her most talented player, Malaysia Fuwale, comes off the bench.
Right.
So I think they can win it all because they have the best coach in college basketball.
Well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And they have a chance each and every year. Each and every year they have a
She
chance.
takes them there. She takes them there no matter what the roster's like.
Mm-hmm.
She got the experience.
Shouts out to
Hey,
Mimi
let's
G.
go.
Your alma mater. Wow. Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
Dawn, we trust.
Yeah. Dawn is the truth. She is that. So it won't be a surprise if they win. Won't be a surprise. So we'll just see. We're gonna see what's going on. All right. So the next team you got, trying to learn how to work this new thing. All right. UCLA.
Okay, so why I think UCLA has a good chance to win? They got the best team in women's college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They have the
Mm-hmm.
most well-rounded team. I've been a big Kiki Rice fan for the last 2 years, the point guard, and I will arguably say Kiki Rice isn't the best player on that team. She may not even be the top 3 player on
Right.
that team, but that's how stacked they are, and I feel like they've played together over the last couple years, so they know each other well collectively. They're not one of those schools where you had a bunch of transfers in. So I think
Mm.
they're hungry, they're collected, and I mean, if you look at their track record, they've only lost 2 games this entire year, but they beat both of those teams that beat them. So I think when push
Yep.
comes to shove, they have what it takes to win because they're a more complete team.
That makes so much sense. And I've actually watched them play a couple times too. And I know the team you're talking about. Matter of fact, let's move on to USC.
Now,
Let's move
why I
on.
think USC got a chance is because Juju Watkins is the best player in women's college
Yes.
basketball. And if you have a GOAT, a juggernaut like herself, she can give you 30, 10, and 15. She can, she has, and she will continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think just the only thing that I would keep them from being my number one is I don't know if the supporting cast around her can kind of match her energy. Like I thought
Right.
my girl Kiki Ifrin from Stanford, she was one of the transfers, one of the top transfers last year from Stanford. She does a great job with her, but realistically, I can't name any other players on the team besides Juju and Kiki. And
Right.
they're gonna need at least a 50-piece McNugget for Juju Watkins to take them to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm. TJ got a good comment. Teams are gonna start doubling Juju. You right?
They had so what was it? I just watched the UCLA and USC matchup for their conference title, and that's exactly what they did. TJ,
Yep.
they doubled Juju. I would say she only scored 18, but that's still a lot of points. But for Juju to score 18, they ain't finna win.
Right. Like you say, she needs 30 pieces, 30 to 35 at least, especially in the tournament, because
Especially in the tournament. Because
yeah.
TJ Wright, they know the game plan. She is the game plan. You
Mm-hmm.
take her out, they out.
Exactly. But we can both agree she's the best player in college basketball, and
The best.
and I would go out on a limb, and I said this about 2 months ago, man. I said she is probably one of the best women's player I've ever seen
Yeah,
at this
she's
early
already
age.
it's her sophomore season. She's already eclipsed Caitlin Clark for most points.
Mm-hmm.
I hope selfishly she makes it to the Final Four because as you know, the women's Final Four is here in Tampa this year, and I got tickets for me and my dad to go. So I would love to be able to see Juju play in person.
Oh, we rooting all the way with Juju. We rooting all the way with Juju. Yes, we are.
Play
Yeah,
Juju
hey,
we trust.
hey, I'm telling you, hey, that's a good match. Now Juju
I think
gave
it's a
them the
good
business
matchup.
when they played earlier this year.
UConn is my easiest path team, Nick, but I'll go into that at a different time of it. I think they have the easiest path to make it to the Final Four just because they play in a weaker conference. And to me, they'll be more rested because all the other teams gonna beat each other down.
Right.
And then you got my girl Paige Buckets, and then you got my girl Ozzie Fudd. And I think they will definitely propel with that opportunity if they're given the chance because they got the easiest path to get there.
Right. All right. So we even talked about 3 of your teams: South Carolina, UCLA, USC. Here go your 4th team, Texas. Now, why is Texas up here?
So Texas was the number 1 team in the women's AP poll until the conference, to the SEC conference game.
Right.
They have a good team. I don't know if they have what it takes to win it all, though. That's why I have them at number 4 because they beat South Carolina. They hung in there with USC. They hung in there with UCLA. They beat LSU. So they beat all of those big teams, and if they didn't beat them, they marginally lost. I just think that they go as far as Madison Booker goes. She's their star player. And it's kind of like how TJ was just saying about Juju Watkins. If you ain't got but one player that's going to score all the points, they're going to double that person and take them out the game. So that's what South Carolina did during the SEC championship. They buckled down on Madison Booker. And Texas looked like, the JV team out there playing the big brother.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, they put quite a resume up for this season. So, I mean, you're right. They could possibly win it all. I mean, any of these teams, if they get to the Final Four, can close the deal. And I see. I like your list. I didn't really change anything on your list. I was just putting the teams up there so we can talk about it.
I think they just need to game plan, find more plays for other players besides Madison Booker. If you can get 1 or 2 other players in that thing, they're a dominant team.
Yeah.
Consistently, though.
All right. So what about this next team right here? Notre Dame. A lot of people talking about them and Hannah.
Hannah Montana. I love me some Hannah Hidalgo. So she is right up there with Juju as one of the best players in college basketball. I think she is right at number 2. I think she is a great matchup with Olivia Miles. They are definitely the best duo, I think, in college basketball. So I think Notre Dame, once healthy and rested, they could possibly win it all. I see them being able to, because like you want to talk about a great matchup, Juju versus Hannah.
Oh yeah,
get your popcorn ready.
That's must see TV. I promise you.
Must see TV.
If they match up, if they match up, let's say for the sake of argument, who you picking if they match up?
I'm not gonna go against Juju Watkins. Are you crazy?
You got me on that. Now Hannah's good. She fun to watch.
She
She was a
good.
walking
She
bucket.
good.
But
But
Juju
Juju,
is
that girl.
all around great.
She is great. She's great defensively. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I love about her the most. She's great offensively. She can shoot, she can pass. I just think that team has a bit of an identity crisis because like Hannah is so great, but so is Olivia. Olivia is a
Yeah.
top 3 projected NBA a WNBA draft pick. Whereas with USC, it's Juju's team.
Right.
That's
Right.
it. When the game is on the line, the ball's in Juju hand. I think Notre Dame got to make a choice. Who is taking the last shot for this team? And I think that'll make a difference of how they continue to win.
Okay. Okay. No arguments there. So this is the team that you had the slash. You put Notre Dame slash UConn, right?
So UConn, I was just saying that to Nick. Hey Nick, UConn is my easiest path team. I don't think they're the most talented team in this pick, but I feel like in their conference is them and nothing else. Whereas the other teams are gonna cancel each other out. Like you probably won't have Juju and Hannah. You probably can't have Texas and South Carolina because you got the SEC going against the SEC. You
Right.
got
Right.
the you got the Big Ten going against the Big Ten. You get so I'm like they're the easiest path to get there. And if you give my girl Paige Buckets a chance to shoot a ball, it's a reason she's the #1 projected WNBA pick going into the summer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not too much you could do to guard her. So I think if they go through that easiest path and Paige get a chance, in the famous words of my girl Glorilla, let her cook.
And she came back for this particular reason. She
She
wants to
came back
win.
for this. Yes.
She could have went last year. She was like, nah, I want to come back. So,
Yeah.
I'm rooting for. I like Paige. I like Paige.
I
She a
like
baller.
Paige.
Yes, yes. So I mean, and UConn is always a stacked team. They're always a good team, and they always have a chance too. They always have.
And they got the easiest path to get there, realistically. Like I was watching their conference game, they were up by like 30 points. Like it's after the first quarter, you already know they're
Wow.
gonna win. It's just a weaker conference. It ain't nothing that they doing.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Nick says Sarah Strong. Yes, she is.
She is good. She should be one of the top freshmen, if not freshman of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, UConn they always get good players. They always get good players.
They do. It's just this isn't the UConn's past. You know what I'm saying? When you
Right.
have Aya Moores, the Rebecca Lobos, like they just ain't playing anybody. I think when they start moving teams to the SEC and moving teams to the ACC, it made the level of competition a little weaker. So like they have like 2 competitive victories. Other than that, I'm like those are games you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna applaud Steph Curry for coming down here and beating Orlando Magic. You know what I'm saying? That's a game he should win.
Mm-hmm. You're supposed to beat them. Now, and also I'm gonna say this as well. So the teams it's not a lot of teams that so to speak just run through the conference. Like you say, the SEC has a strong conference, so you're not gonna just run through the conference. Well, UConn, they used to go undefeated all the time. Now you can get knocked off because you're not battle tested.
Now they did beat South Carolina. I'll give them that, and it was a good game. So I'm like, I think when push comes to shove, they can win. It's just their resume. It's almost like I was saying with LSU at the beginning of the year. LSU was undefeated, but they played nobody. You're not gonna really get the respect until you got those big games. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
But I think they have some of those games where like they play like pros, and then there's other games you like, bruh, you're beating, Creighton. Like, I mean, there's nothing against that school, but you tell me one person that plays for that team.
So the Creighton women's team, they ain't
No, they
ain't
not.
out. Okay. Just the men. Okay.
Just the men.
Stall them out.
Hey, somebody got to do it.
All right, so let me add the sleeper, okay? Let me add the sleeper because you left them off. And I'll be damned if I'm going to leave this team off. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
I know you.
I'll be damned if I leave out the Crimson Tide. Come on, Jocelyn.
I want to be clear that number 21 on the top 25 poll.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, we going to the dance though. Hey, we going to the dance.
I'm a
So
Bama fan, so I'm a roll tide right on with you.
yeah. Now I put them as a sleeper because nobody's gonna go pick them to win the whole thing, but
They're
they can
actually pretty
upset.
good though.
They are good. Yes. They have beaten some good teams. They have lost some games they could have won, but for the most part, this team has been good consistently all year. They've been ranked, and these three girls right here, as you can see right there, you got all SEC. I
Yeah,
mean, this is a
good
talented
team. I'm
team.
telling you, Bama, good team. They only lost what 7 games or 8 games this season.
Yeah.
I think they're a great pick. I would be surprised if they make it past the second round. I'll be disappointed if they
Damn.
don't make it past the first.
Damn. So we ain't going to the 16?
I think it's just the SEC is just such a strong conference. Like it was already a strong conference, and then you add Texas, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Who else did they add into the conference? Like I'm looking at this top 25 poll here. At least 10 of the teams are from the SEC.
And it's the same in basketball too. I mean, for the men.
And for the men. So it's like really the SEC weeds itself out.
Yeah,
you got two top 5 teams in the top 5. I mean, 2 teams in the top 5 from the SEC. Mm-hmm. You got 4 in the top 10. So by the time you get to Bama, you on that 10th, 11th team in the from the SEC conference, and it's just who I think is a sleeper actually is Duke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't have a graphic. I don't have a graphic for them, but
they won their ACC tournament. They won the conference, and I honestly didn't think they could because I thought that NC State was just a better team.
Right.
And I'm like, if you go back and look at their resume, they have a really good coach. I wouldn't be surprised to see them going a little further in the tournament than what most people think they would.
Okay.
Because you never really hear about women for Duke. You only hear about the men for Duke. So
you're right about that. You absolutely right about that. I mean, I can't fault you. I tried it. Bama fans, I tried to slide Bama in. She denied me. She stopped us at the door. She checked our resume at the door and turned those right back around. But that's okay. That's okay. I ain't mad at you, but you did give valid points, so I'm not mad. Seaway roll tide any damn way.
I'm always gonna roll tide. You know where I'm
from. but we being realistic, and so you think we win 2 games in the tournament? I'm just for your expertise. 2 games.
I think the women will go past the first round. I'm not sure about the second. I think the men will go very far, but I'll wait till we get into the men.
We about to get to the men. Okay. All right, y'all watching us. We talking women's and men's March Madness preview. Please hit the like button if you're tuning in with us. Subscribe to the channel. We are past 500. We trying to get to 1,000 before August. So help us out.
There we go.
And share this to your people. Yes. And no, she did not mess up her hand playing basketball. She was doing some side project, and things happen. But it's all to the good. This is Jocelyn Knows Sports. Jocelyn Knows Sports on the show. She's great at basketball. She's great at everything she does in talking sports. So let's do the men's bracket now. Not the bracket, but just the top 5 teams that we think. And I made the list for the men, and I want to see if you'll agree. So at number 1, I'm going with the number 1 team with Duke. So how you feeling about Duke?
I think Duke is a good team, but I feel like Duke is one of my easiest path teams.
Right.
I mean, I think Cooper Flagg is a great player. He'd definitely be the number 1 pick in the draft. I had the privilege to see him when I worked the NBA Top 100 for the high school athletes before, and he is just as good in person as he is on TV. So he is what he is who he is. He is who they say he is, basically. But I don't know if the team is who they say the team is. And I just, I don't know if I will count all of their wins as quality wins.
True that. Yeah, it's kind of, you're right about the easy path. Tyrese Proctor right there on that picture, he got to step up. He's going to have to play big time in the tournament. And, Duke is always one of those teams. Yeah, they can go to the Final Four, but yeah, they can lose in the second round too. They get
Agreed.
upset
I
too.
think it's a good team. I think they're a good team. I haven't seen them battle tested enough for me to put them in my top 4. I don't even know if they'll go past the Elite 8.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. But they did beat this next team. It was early in the season. But this is the next team, and I hate to put this up there, but Auburn Tigers. I got to give them some love, because they have been kicking
Consistently
ass and
good.
taking names all season. They slipped up. They lost to Bama, the buzzer beater, and they lost to Texas A&M. Lost 2 games in a row for the first time this season. What you think about Auburn? You think how far you think they can go?
One, I am very happy that Alabama beat Auburn. I
Yes.
call it the new Iron Bowl. And I like Mark Sears. He's stayed down and been down with Bama, and I can always appreciate loyalty.
For sure.
I think Auburn can go pretty far because to me, even though Cooper Flag is the more NBA ready player, I think Joe. How do you say his name?
Janai Broom.
Janai Janai Broom. I think he is the best player in college basketball, well rounded. Because he's like a senior, right? Yeah, he's a senior,
Yep.
and he's getting ready to play. I think he's more developed as a team player. He's more of a leader of his team versus Cooper Flag is like that raw talent to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, both are great players, but I think collectively, Janai makes his team better. And I think he has everyone to elevate their game. And I think Auburn can go as far as they want to go. I think those games that they lost were close games, tired games, as we call it, hero ball.
Yep.
They start trying to take that last shot versus passing the ball around and getting a good shot. But I think, to me, they're my number 1 team. I hate to say that as an Alabama fan, but I think Auburn is the number 1 team.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna say this about Auburn. I've watched them play a handful of times. They play defense. They defend. They rebound at a high level. But if they're making 3-pointers, it's gonna be hard to beat them because they're not the 3-point team that's gonna shoot you out the gym. But they are capable of making a lot of threes in a row. The first time they beat Alabama, they beat us at the 3-point line. So, I mean, you get in this tournament and you get on a roll, it's going to be hard to an Auburn team get up on you by 10, 15 points. It's going to be hard for you to come back.
Yeah, so I agree.
So,
I think if they don't make it to at least the Final Four, that's a disappointment for the season.
True. Absolutely. And Bruce Pearl's a good coach, even though he get on my damn nerves. He's a good coach. So I got to give Bruce Pearl props. And I think Janai Broom won the SEC Player of the Year. And he's up for the Wooden Award.
Player of the Year.
Yeah, him and Janai. I think it's him, Cooper Flag. I think it's a 1-2. Either one of them is going to win it, I believe. Yeah, I believe. Yeah. Shouts out to Tanya in the chat. Yeah, but always roll Tide. You know what to say.
I know that's right. I feel it. I'm with her when she right. I am with you when you right, girl.
All right, so who we got next? Let's see. Florida, the Gators. Now, I'm gonna go out on the limb because I've been high on the Gators for months. I think this is maybe the best team. I mean, the best team coming out of the SEC, even with Auburn, even with Tennessee, Alabama. Because when they are going, it's hard to pump the brakes on this team. They beat us in our own gym last week, and it was embarrassing. This team can play. I mean, this team can play. They were catching alley-oops. They were just doing anything they wanted to do. We make a big shot, they come down there and make a big shot. They blocking shots. Florida is a team that can win it all because they can go on a roll, and it's hard to beat them when they're on a roll. Now, I don't know how much Florida have you watched, but what's your assessment of the Gators?
Oh, I live in Florida. I'm a Bama girl, but I'm a Floridian. If you look at my driver's license,
that's true.
But I think Florida's a great team. I think they are very, very talented. They're very hungry. They play like a young team. Like one of those teams that just running. They picking it up full court. They're pressing. I think they want it bad. Only reason why I probably want to rank them higher is just because I honestly feel like the SEC is going to cancel each other out. I hate that happens, But I mean, we're 3, 4 teams in, and we already uncovered 3 SEC teams or 2 SEC teams.
We was about to be 3 on the next slide, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
with
it's
you though.
like somebody got to lose.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like we got a lot of dogs in the fight. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the conference as a whole,
Agreed.
right? And it's teams. I only put 5, but if we would have went 10, I would have had 5 SEC teams out of the 10,
Yeah.
maybe 6. Because you can make
Agreed.
an argument for a lot of these other teams as well.
Tennessee's a good team.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Missouri's been surprisingly good this year.
Texas A&M has been upsetting
Yeah.
people. So I mean, you know, but
Kentucky always got a dog in the fight. I don't think they'll go far, but hey,
yeah,
it's the
but
SEC team.
it's only a few bad SEC teams. Like LSU was terrible this year. Like it's only like a few, and then Ole Miss has been good. Ole Miss can upset
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
So
that's true. Ole
yeah,
Miss has been good.
yeah. So I mean,
But I
it's
think
one.
Florida is balling. I agree. I agree with Tanya. Florida is a dangerous team. It just kind of depends on the matchup and the day. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the beauty of the SEC tournament. You don't really know how you're gonna feel that day, but you at least get the matchup. And if you can match
Exactly.
those players up well, it'll work out.
And I kind of think like I don't put a lot of stock in whoever wins the SEC tournament going on to make a hell of a run at the big dance and win that, because you can be tired. You play like 3 games back to back to back. But also if you get on that roll, like a team that's not number 1 or number 2, a team like on the back half, like a number 7 seed in the SEC tournament can get on a roll, win the whole damn tournament, and they can boost the confidence and they can go on to the big dance and make a run. We've seen it happen before. But these teams that we're talking about, like the Auburns and the Floridas, and of course the Crimson Tide,
Roll
those
Tide.
teams are up here.
Yeah.
They're at the top of the food chain in the SEC. You can put Tennessee up there too. But, the other teams, like we mentioned, the Missouris and, the Mississippi States and stuff like and
Texas
teams like
A&M.
that, Ole Miss, they can upset you. They can win the SEC tournament. So let's
I
not.
think it's a confidence boost. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll win win in a big tournament, but that is a big confidence boost. If you beat Auburn 2 weeks ago, what make you think you can't beat them today?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's how I'm feeling. So about the Tide, I'm feeling. Oh man, I feel like this season has been a roller coaster, just like the season in football, because we got off on a high. Yeah, we lost a couple games early, but I didn't put a lot of stock in that because Nate Oates, he always schedules a tough schedule. We had the number 1 toughest schedule in the whole country. He does that for a reason, so we can be battle tested. But it's just some of the games on the back end of the schedule that we should have won, right? But for us to beat Auburn like that at the end of the season on the road in that type of fashion, that should be a confidence boost for this team. Let's go do some damage in the SEC tournament, and let's go to the big dance because we've been to the Final Four. We've been to the Final Four, right? I got the shirt on right here. Final Four. We went last year, right?
Yes,
Throw
yes.
it in the trash. Throw it in the trash. We got to move on past that. And not all the fans out there that's happy for a Final Four appearance, I'm not. Now, you made the Final Four last year. This time, let's get to the Final 2 and let's win. I feel like if you get back to the Final Four and lose, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. You went right back to where you was last year, and you went to that disappointment again, and you lost. If you don't get to the national championship, then this season is a failure for Alabama. That's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that
I
job.
think you're putting a little heavy on them, but I like Alabama. I love Nate Oates. I used to honestly feel like Nate Oates just came and took over Avery Johnson's team and got the credit for it. Like the same way I used to feel like Steve Kerr came and took over Mark Jackson's team and got the credit for the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
But the more I kind of observe Nate Oates' coaching style, I think he's one of the best coaches in college basketball, if not the best.
Right.
Because what I like about him is he has one particular skill set, and that's what he goes for. Like he'll live by the 3 and D, he'll die by the 3 and D.
Yes.
And I can appreciate the consistency because in a market, which basketball is a corporation,
Mm-hmm.
in a saturated market like college basketball, you have so many players with the one and dones. You have the transfer portals. If he's keeping the system the same way routinely, it makes it easier for players to kind of buy into it and grasp the concept. Now, that's what I think makes him a phenomenal coach, and that's what I think makes Alabama competitive against anybody. Now,
Yes.
where they kind of piss me off is when the threes ain't going down, they look like a completely different team.
Yeah. And you are absolutely right about that. And now I've seen a little progression that we drive to the basket some, we get offensive rebounds, we dump it off the big cliff. Grant Nelson gets it done inside.
I
Now
love me some Grant Nelson. I love me some
I've
Grant Nelson.
yes. So the capability is there, but can we do it consistently? Now, I'm not like I said earlier. I'm not even worried about the SEC tournament. If we get there and we win it, I'm good with that. I'm cool. But it's all about the big dance. It's all about going 6-0. All right, because you have to win 6 games and you can't lose or you going home. So you got to put that in your mindset. 6-0. We have to go 6-0 to win. Let's put together 6 great performances in a row, Alabama. 6 performances in a row, and let's win. Because we know if we hitting the threes, if we go out there and make 17, 18, 19 3-pointers,
It's a wrap.
nope, ain't nobody beating us, right?
Nobody.
If we can go out there, we have a cold night. Let's say we go 8 for 35, right? Let's get some offensive rebounds. We got to win the rebound battle. We have to
Get
win
to
the
the free
offensive.
throw line.
Yes, and we have to cash at the free throw line. We got to cash. We missed too many free throws, and that's our Achilles heel. We missed too many free throws when it matters. If you look back at a game where you done miss 9 free throws and you lose by 3 points, just imagine if you would have made half of those free throws that you missed. Could have won the game.
That's why I'm be wondering, like in practice, do they get to practice anything but threes? Because like they be missing some jump shots. I done seen a couple of layup miss. But I
Yeah,
mean, I get it. You have to kind of stick to the game plan. The game plan is 3 and D. It's
that's
just an
right.
issue when the threes aren't falling, they don't stop shooting them. So
Yeah,
no.
and it gets on your damn nerves. It really does. But I feel good about this team, and I don't want to
Never
pick up.
underestimate the heart of a champion now.
I
Mark
know.
Sears only had 9 points in that game against Auburn.
Yeah,
But you'll never forget the last 2 he had. So I think if you have the will to win, you'll veer off the game plan. There wasn't no 3, there wasn't no D. He
mm-hmm.
just went, fake, went left. I don't know how they bit on the left because he's a left-handed player. He likes to go left. And
Right.
there you go. Game point. Checkmate.
So, you think we can win it all?
I think Alabama can win it all. I
Mm,
do. And
mm.
you know what? I don't really like to admit this. Last year, when I was playing March Madness bracket, I picked
Mhm.
Auburn to win
Lord have
number
mercy.
1. I know. I'm ashamed of myself. That's
Mm.
why my hand like this. God ain't even gonna let me play this year. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
But
Lord.
I picked Auburn to win number 1, the number 1 team to win it all, and I picked Alabama to go out in the second round. I felt like a fool.
And Alabama went out against Yale. I mean, Auburn went out against
Yeah,
Yale.
they broke my bracket the first day.
Good for you. Good for you. You deserve that. Speaking of brackets, we're gonna do a bracket challenge, and then you definitely gonna have to get in this. And I'll give all the
I
details
ain't
at the
picking
end of the show.
Auburn. Don't worry, y'all.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So it's one more team though, because I think that was only 4 teams we talked about. We spent a lot of time on Alabama, of course. Let's talk about Houston real quick, man. I feel like Houston is one of those tough teams that could make some noise. I don't know if they can win it all, but can they get to the Final Four? Yes, I think they can get to the Final Four. What you think about
I,
Houston?
I agree. Houston is actually good every year. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember a year that Houston wasn't competitive. They still got that. What they used to call them, like the Rama Jammas or whatever, because they had all the dunkers down there in Houston.
Rama
But they still,
Slammer, something like yeah,
Slamma
I know what you're talking
Jamma.
about.
They still have that same like mentality with it. I think Houston is as good as they want to be. Defense could be a little sketchy for Houston a little bit, and I think when I think about them, I kind of think about the depth of the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I think any team is like that. If you're playing your star players just so many minutes, they're gonna get tired and like how you
Yeah.
said, not be able to perform for 6 games and win. But they also get in foul trouble when you play that athletically and that hard. Your team gets into foul trouble a lot, and you may not have a bench to be able to support when they're out the game. So
And they
Houston
do
got
play.
some stuff to work on.
They do play hard. They play
They play
hard.
hard. They
Yeah.
play.
And that coach Kevin Sampson, man, he's a great coach. He's been there for a long time. He's gonna have
He
them
used to
boys
play
ready.
for Houston, I think, when he was in college.
He did. He's gonna have them ready. That's a team I don't want to play. I mean, if we got to play them, so be it. We beat them. I think Bama beat them early in the season. They hadn't lost too many games, but this team is right here, and they got a lot of players that's battle tested that's been on this team. So this is a team to look out for, and you don't want to play them in the tournament.
I think they'll make it to at least Sweet 16.
16, they might make it to the 8. It depends. Really
It
depends
depends
on.
on the matchups.
Mhm.
It can always be so crazy. You don't know which bracket you're gonna fall under, and then like you never know the Cinderella story. Like who in their right mind had Auburn losing to Yale last year? Definitely not me. You
Not
know,
even me.
so
Not even me. Yep.
you never
Um,
know.
you never know. So speaking of sleeper and a team that could possibly upset some folks, and a team I think no, they didn't beat Houston, but they beat some teams this year, some ranked teams, and they are hot. This team is on a roll. I'm talking about the BYU Cougars.
Okay.
BYU, they're hot right now. They've won a bunch of games in a row. They've beaten a bunch of ranked teams. They dog walked Kansas a few weeks ago. I watched that game. And this is a team that's gonna get in the tournament and possibly make some noise. I think they're ranked 20. They're down in the 20s, I think. 21
17.
or something like that.
They're number 17 right now.
Oh, 17. Okay, see. So they've been up and
They getting
coming.
up there, yeah.
So this team, and I was like, they caught my eye when they beat Kansas. I ain't gonna lie, they caught my eye. And then they beat Iowa State too. So I'm like, damn, they keep beating these. They done beat two ranked teams back to back, and then they beat somebody else. I'm like, oh, hold on now, BYU, come on,
But I
man.
call them beat YU because they out there beating these teams.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like this team is a sleeper. This is a team that could possibly upset some folks, and this is a team y'all got to look out for if y'all see them on that side of the bracket. This is not no cupcake.
Yeah, I think they're a pretty good team.
Yeah, this ain't
I
no
don't know if
cupcake.
they'll go past like the first round, but you know what I'm saying.
I think they make it to the 16.
I think it depends on the matchup. And like that's why I'm so sad I'll be on a plane doing selection Sunday because I'm like it really does make a difference for a matchup for a team because like just because a team is an unknown doesn't mean that it'd be a matchup problem for somewhere. It could be the guards, it could be the wings, it could be the big man. You never know how it's gonna match up. And sometimes, the odds just don't fall under people's favor.
And it's some guys on this team. I don't know their name, but I've seen these guys when they can shoot, they can jump out the gym. This is an athletic team too, a sneaky athletic team. Just watch out for BYU. I just say, oh wait a minute, what's a team that's a sleeper that could possibly make a run? And that's the first team that came to my mind.
Came to your mind.
Yep. Because I remember watching them beat up Kansas like that. And Kansas has been disappointing, but they can get in a tournament and make a run as well too. So
I don't even think Kansas is ranked.
they're not ranked. But they're gonna make the tournament, and they're probably gonna be a seed they're normally a top 4 seed. Kansas may be a double-digit seed, but they can upset somebody because that's a talented team.
Yeah, you're right. They normally a top 5, and they might be in there like 20 to 24 slot.
Yep. Yeah. So you gotta be careful with them. So what else? Those are the only teams I really got. But I want to talk about some standout players too, Jocelyn. Okay. And let's go back to the women. Let's go back to the women and talk about them. Of course, we'd already talked about some of these players.
But better be Juju on that beat. Juju on that beat.
You already know.
That beat.
You already know. So everybody know Juju. Everybody love Juju. She's a guard from USC, 6'2". She's averaging 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists a game. The best player in women's college football. I'm gonna watch every chance I get. Every time USC plays, I'm gonna watch because of her. I want to see her get to the Final Four. I'm rooting for Juju. I know you are, and I don't know. I have nothing bad to say about her game.
I'm gonna tell you, USC ain't been this popular since Monica Wright, and that's from Love and Basketball.
Man, I thought you were about to say a Cheryl Miller. Ah,
USC ain't been this popular since Monica Wright, baby. But Juju is a star. She brings all the celebrities to the games. She brings all of the fans to the games. You got people wearing the little Juju bond. She's been in Nike commercials. She was one of the females featured in a Nike commercial, which is the first one in the Super Bowl in almost 100 years. And she's just a sophomore in college. I think not only is she a winner on the court, I think she's a winner in life. And I think her being in that Final Four is going to produce more money for the women's college basketball fund. Because like how you said, you're going to be watching because of her.
Yep.
I want to go to the game because of her. So she is marketing genius. You have Juju in your championship game or your Final Four game. I would say preferably both. That's money. That's a walking bucket right there. A bucket with a bond on it.
Yeah. And a lot of people say she played like Carmelo Anthony or like Kyrie. Man, who did you think she played like if you had to compare her to an NBA player, past or present?
I think Juju played like Juju. But when I see her, it kind of reminds me of Melo because she isn't like in love with the 3-pointer, but I wouldn't say it's too much like Melo because she does have a 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
She reminds me a lot of Maya Moore. I'm not sure if a lot of
I remember
people remember Maya Moore, but Maya Moore is I would say probably one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, a pure shooter and a person that can create her own shot. Yeah. And Juju can create her own shot, whether it's a three, it's a layup, it's a jump shot, it's contact. So I think she's a well-rounded player, a complete player, and it reminds me a lot of Maya Moore.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But yeah, I know a lot of people were just saying Melo because how her jump shot is so pure. You know how she shoot it, and she got a mid-range game. But she all around game, man. Like I said,
she all around player.
All around, man. I'm talking about. And I love me some Caitlin Clark, but man, she ain't got the all around game like Juju. No, Caitlin Clark reminds me of Steve Nash.
I can see that.
Yeah, she reminds me of
Steve Nash. She reminds me of Steve Nash, but I felt like Steve Nash was just only a 3-point shooter. I think Caitlin Clark is known for her 3-point shooting, but I think she could do more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, what you know about Laura Betts?
I like Lauren Betts, and to be honest, I started to watch UCLA because I loved Kiki Rice. It was like a documentary last year that highlighted Caitlin Clark, Kiki Rice, and Camila Cardoso. Mm-hmm. So I fell in love with Kiki Rice's story, and I just kind of assumed she was the star of UCLA because obviously Caitlin Clark was the star of Iowa, Camila Cardoso was the star of South Carolina. Right. But then I learned about this freak of nature, this gigantor, Lauren Betts, who is a walking bucket and a walking defense. So she is by far the best player on UCLA. I would take her as a top 5 pick in the draft when she's eligible, if not number 1. Right. But I think what she brings that a lot of people don't have in women's college sport is the height. She's very talented, but like I think I watched the conference game between UCLA and USC, and Juju, our favorite player, went up, tried to double pump, take it to the hole. Lauren Betts just came and snatched the ball out of her hand. Yeah. Snatched the ball out of her hand as she was going up to shoot the shot. This is how tall, athletic, and powerful this girl is. So, yeah, she is that girl. She is one of one, the only one. So.
She's serious business, y'all. Lauren Betts, get familiar with her. She's 6'7". She averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, and she's shooting 63% from the field, and she's having 2.5 blocks. She's the real deal now. So she's gonna be a force. If anybody try to drive it in the paint, she's gonna knock it down. And if you throw her the ball, she's gonna cash. if you throw the ball up under that basket, she gonna catch. So yeah,
She took
6'7".
that ball like play with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. You can't teach no 6'7", man. Come on now.
You can't teach that. You can't teach that.
No. Let's talk about your girl Hannah Hadagio. Did I say her name right?
Hannah Montana. I think
Hannah
it's
Montana.
Hidalgo. But we both from Alabama. I think they know what we're trying to say.
Yeah. Hannah. All right, so she Notre Dame. She's only 5'6", but she be hooping, man. She averaged 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Fighting Irish. And she's exciting to watch. She's must-see TV. Like we was talking about earlier, we want to see that matchup with her and Juju going at it. Her and whoever. I just want to watch the game when she playing. What's so special about Hannah?
I think what makes Hannah so special to me is she's a two-way player.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't always get that with a person of talent, like a pure talent. A lot of times when you have people that are so dominant on the offensive end, they kind of sleep on the defensive end.
Right.
She's one of those players that plays full court press, regardless of what the score is. I think she was leading. She may still be leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. So not only is she giving you 24, 5, and 5, she can turn around and give you 5 steals as well. So
Right.
I think that I love her versatility as a point guard. She can shoot when she needs to, but she also knows how to distribute the ball. It's very tough to kind of find any holes in her game. She's just a complete player. And she reminds me a lot of Kawhi Leonard. I think, young Kawhi Leonard. Let me not say like today.
Now orthopedic knees.
Yeah, not this Kawhi Leonard. This Kawhi Leonard. But she's just as dominant on the defensive end as she is on the offensive end, and that's just something you don't always get with a person that talented.
Okay. Y'all remember these faces and these names we talking about, because these are some of the standouts you're going to see when you watch the NCAA tournament on the women's side. Now, everybody know about Paige Beckers, but anyway, I want to talk about her again. UConn, she back for her last ride, her last dance with UConn. She's 6 foot tall, averaging 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. She gets it done not only scoring, but playmaking. She gets it done all over the court. How you feel about Paige, Jocelyn?
I love Paige buckets. I think just like I said, Juju is a star. Paige is a star, been a star.
Yep.
I think she doesn't get enough credit for what she's done for women's sports. I don't think she gets enough credit for how she stood up as an advocate for Black women in women's sports. She is very much that girl. She is better than advertised. And I think anywhere she goes is going to be successful. So if they want people to watch this tournament, they need to have more time with Paige Buckets, just like they need to have time with Juju Watkins, because she draws a crowd. You see the little kids with the 2 braids in their hair. She has endorsement deals with Unrivaled, all kind of things at her age. So I think Paige is a bona fide star, and she can create a bucket wherever she goes. And to be honest, I got Nick. Sarah Strong's pretty good as a freshman. Ozzie Fudd is coming around after her injury, but really, she don't have the caliber talent surrounding her like UConn has had in the past. So I feel like she has a lot to carry, and she's carried it with grace and with winning. So let's go, Paige. Get us a bucket.
Yeah. Number 1 pick in the WNBA draft this summer.
I'm 100% going to be at a Dallas Wings game just to see Paige buckets.
Oh, Dallas got number 1 pick. Okay.
Dallas got the number 1 pick.
That's what's up. So, yeah, I like Paige, man. I really do. So, man, we on the same page with that. No pun intended. I had to throw that out. I know. It may be.
I know you a dad, but you ain't gotta give me no dad jokes.
No, I'm just saying. Come on, man. Come on. I had to throw it out there. All right. So, how about let's turn the page to this next one?
Oh my God.
What about Anisha Morrow?
I like Anissa Morrow. I don't. LSU just did not have it for me this season. I don't know what's going on with LSU. They haven't been that good. I don't know.
What's over Fly J? What's going on with LSU?
I don't know. I mean, I think injuries. I know Anissa Morrow got injured during the SEC tournament, which
Oh,
makes me unsure if she's going to come in fully healthy for the NCAA tournament.
mm-hmm.
But I had high hopes for her. I thought like, with Angel Reese out, this would
Right.
be her season to have a breakout season. She's a great player, very talented player. I'm sure she'll go far in the WNBA. I would see her as a top 5 pick,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't see LSU going far in the tournament between her injuries and Flage's injuries. I don't
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. Well, she was averaging 18 points and 13 rebounds, man. She had a game, I think, 38 points or something like that
Yeah, she a
recently.
beast, man. When she healthy, she a beast. I just don't know if she gonna get back healthy.
Wow. See, I
Yeah.
didn't know about the injury. That's why I got you on here, because you know all the updates. So hopefully she can play. I mean, LSU, going from the championship to it's kind of like a fall off. They may make a run still, right? You think they still can make a run in the tournament?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put on my. I like to tell people I like to put on my general manager hat, even though I'm not a general manager.
Okay, do that. Do that.
LSU is not going far in the tournament, and Anissa Morrow should sit out,
Ooh,
get herself healthy,
ooh,
and go to the WNBA draft. That's my
wow.
personal opinion. Because if she re-injures herself, she's not going to be a top 5 pick. Because no team is going to want to take a chance on her. Because you got to remember the WNBA season starts like May, June, so their
Right.
draft is like literally the month or a couple of weeks after the Final Four in the championship game. So like, ain't nobody finna take her if she's injured.
Yep, you're right, because it's a quick turnaround. It's like April, and then you only got like probably like 4 or 5 weeks to get ready. Then you got to get ready for the season. So yeah, it's. I mean,
If it was me and I was her agent, I'll tell her like, we gonna sit this one out. I mean, because
I
they
ain't
ain't
mad
going
at you on
far
that though.
anyways.
I ain't mad. We ain't going no damn way anyway. I like
That's what
it.
I'm
I
saying.
like it. I like it. But I like her game too. I had to spotlight her. Like, man, she hooping. I looked at the
She is
stats
a
like, man,
hooper.
yeah, she real. She real deal. All right, let's talk about the men. I got a few, and these are probably some players that everybody know too. Cooper Flag is one of them. I mean, this dude 6'9". He averaging 19.7 rebounds, 4 assists, a couple blocks, and a steal. What can't he do? But he's a hooper. He's highlight reel. He's dunking on people. He's blocking shots. He's doing it all for Duke. And they're the number 1 team in the country by rank, even though Jocelyn thinks Auburn's number 1. Me personally, I think Alabama number 1. But no, who cares what we think? Duke is the number 1 AP. They're going to be a number 1 seed. Now, Cooper Flag is going to be point the wrong way. Cooper Flag is going to be the reason they go to the Final Four or they don't. So it's all riding on him as a freshman, knowing that these are going to be his last games playing at Duke because he's going straight to the NBA, to the
Number
damn
one pick.
Washington Wizards or the Charlotte Hornets. How you feel about Coop?
I think Cooper Flag is a raw talent, just freak of nature, athleticism. Um, I almost I don't want to compare him to LeBron James because that's crazy. But like, when LeBron first came out and he was just raw talent, dunking on everybody, scoring at will. And this is when he was in high school.
Right. So
That's
he's
kind
like
of
a
how
high school version of LeBron. I got you.
that's kind of how I felt when I watched Cooper Flag play at the NBA 100 camp. Because they get all hyped for the names because he was there. Kyan Anthony was there, but when I tell you Cooper Flag was a man amongst boys, it was like we ain't even playing the same game. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You know,
And
he
so
was
like,
busting. He was busting their ass in the at the Olympics. When he was on the select team.
yep,
He was on the select team, and he was giving it to Bron and them on that team.
he is a natural raw talent, and I'm actually excited. I hope he don't have to go to the Washington Wizards or Charlotte Hornets, but you're
Ooh,
right. That's probably where he gonna end up at.
yeah,
But he is a raw talent, and I hope he gets into the hands of someone who can truly develop him.
yeah,
Like I wish he can get in a situation to have a mentor like Braun or Steph, like a vet that really took care of their body and just got better and better as their career went on. versus some of these young guys that go to teams and just kind of
Yeah.
dwindle down or whatever. But I think he is a great player. I'm
Mhm.
not too sold on Duke, the
Okay.
team. So yeah.
Now, there's also word on the streets that
Uh-oh.
he may go back to Duke if he look at that draft lottery and the damn Hornets or the Wizards got that number 1 pick. He may go back to Duke because NIL, he can get $10 million just for coming back to Duke in the NIL. So sometimes it ain't about all the money. Man, I don't want to go to no dumpster fire.
No bad situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It just kind of depends on the situation too. Like, just because they have the number 1 pick doesn't mean they can't trade it either. So I
Thank
always
you.
say like it depends on the situation.
And you know what I'm doing? If I'm a team like a OKC or San Antonio, one of them teams that got a lot of picks, like in the future, I'll trade some of them, trade up to that damn spot and go get Coop, man. Pair him with Shea Gilge with that young talent at OKC. Pair him with Wemby over there at in San Antonio.
Well, see, I disagree. Like Charlotte, I think is a dumpster fire, but I think if the Washington Wizards can get some people around, like it's been rumors that Kevin Durant wants to leave Phoenix Suns, if they can get him back home to Phoenix, you think Cooper Flag don't want to play with Kevin Durant? But I look at it as though Wembley went to San Antonio, that was his team. I looked at it with OKC. They freaking the LA Clippers, which is the dumbest move in history, sent Shea over there to OKC because they thought he wasn't good enough to be the face of the franchise for the Clippers, and it was his team.
Yep.
And they made it better. And I think sometimes like people need to take a page out the book. You don't always have to pair a superstar with a superstar to be successful.
I think you pair the young guys up together. That's why
Exactly. So I think if because I don't know what's going on in Charlotte. Charlotte actually has a lot of talent. They're
Yes,
just
they do.
horrible.
It's up top. It's up top. It's like, okay, you got LaMelo Ball, young superstar. But I don't know. Sometimes the organizations are so, I don't know, something's going on at the top and it don't work out. But if he don't want to go to Charlotte and he said, man, I would rather go back to Duke
I don't
than to
blame
play
him. I
at
mean,
Charlotte.
probably, yeah. Only thing to me, anyone that does that, you take a risk of getting injured.
Yeah, big risk.
You take a risk of not being as good because, like, just because you didn't go one and done, half the team still did.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like you kind of take that gamble from going from being a guaranteed number 1 pick to you don't even know if you'll be in the first round. Now I think the type of talent he is, he will. But look at what happened to Michael Porter Jr. back in the day when he was playing for Vanderbilt. He was the top player. He got a back injury. He ended up going the last pick or close to the last pick of the first round.
Yep. Lost a lot of money.
He lost a lot of money because you can't predict life, So it just
Yeah.
depends.
That's just some little nuggets right there on Cooper Flag. I don't know if anybody knew that, but it's possible he could go back to Duke if the situation tells for him. Now let's talk about another guy. My guy, Mark Sears.
Oh, I love Mark Sears.
So this is a different situation now. He's a super senior. He's his 5th year. These are his last college basketball games. He has no more eligibility. So he's going to have to go out with a bang at Alabama, submit his legacy. He already submitted it last year by winning the SEC Player of the Year, by getting to the Final Four. Now we just need that championship. We need that chip, Mark Sears. The team goes as Mark Sears goes. Now, a lot of the guys step up for Bama. Fallon, Youngblood, Grant Nelson, they all step up at times. Aiden Holloway. But when this guy's motor is on, when he can give you 25, 30 with 5 or 6 assists and a couple steals, and he's hitting those tray balls, y'all better look out because Mark Sears is a dynamic player. He's only 6 feet tall. I think he's 5'11", but they got him listed at 6 feet.
He can round up.
Averaging 19 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. The shoot numbers are down from last year, but all I need Mark Sears to do is get on a run, and the team is going to ride him. Diddy. The team is going to ride the Mark Sears, the train, the Mark Sears train. They're going to ride with him, and he's the point guard, he's the quarterback. Aiden Holloway, get in the cone. We got you. We got your shots. Everybody's gonna be all right. He's a great player. Jocelyn, anything you got to add to that with Mark Sears?
I love Mark Sears. I love his loyalty. I love his leadership ability. Let's not take away that what he did last week. What was it? Last Saturday, he became the first player ever in SEC history to defeat on a buzzer beater. So you can add that to his notch or his legacy. He's the first player to ever knock down a number one team on a buzzer beater in the SEC. But I think it's only knock I would have on Mark Sears is like it's too many variables. Like how you say, if his shot going down, if he knocking down points, if he give you 20, like a star is a star. At the end of the day, you got to lead, and I think he does have the ability to do that. It's just I don't know consistently which version of him shows up every night.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's a lot.
Like he got the heart, you know what I'm saying? The game just don't always translate.
Okay. Well, we're gonna root for Mark Sears because I want Bama.
I want him to be a top 10 pick. I want him to win a championship. I feel like loyalty should be rewarded. It's so many players that hop in that transfer portal. It's so many players that's one and done. This man been down, stayed down, took Bama from barely making the tournament to the Final Four. Like this dude deserve it. You know what I'm saying? He deserve it all. I feel like.
Well, we might be a number. We still could possibly get a number one seed if we go in this SEC tournament. Possibly win that. We could get a number one seed. Right now, we're gonna be a number two seed. I ain't got no problem with that. But
you giving him a lot of possibilities again. You see what I mean? That's what makes him not a dominant player. He got too many variables, man.
But hey, and a lot of people say you can't be dominant when your point guard is short and he's doing this and this. Hey man, listen, this is college basketball. This is March Madness, the biggest tournament, the most unpredictable tournament in the world. Anything can happen in March Madness.
True. That is true.
That's why we play the games. Now, this is a kid right here. A lot of people ain't really. I mean, I've been watching him, Derek Queen. Now, he's a freshman at Maryland. He's probably going to be one and done. He's 6'10", averaging 16 points, 10 rebounds, shooting 53% from the field. Now, this boy can ball. He can ball. He's a raw talent freshman, but he's got Maryland on the road. And that's a team right here also to look out for. And they go as Derek Queen go. Because Derek Queen can ball. He get that ball in the low post, and he's a handful. He's a handful to stop. And I like him a lot. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he possibly could be an NBA lottery pick this coming summer. So this is a kid to look out for, man. I didn't watch a lot of Maryland, but every time I saw something about Maryland or I turned on the TV and they were on, he was the man. He was the man. So I just want to give him a little love about Derek Queen, man. I think he could possibly get this team to the Sweet 16, maybe even further than that. You know, who knows? But we gotta wait till the bracket comes out for that. Janai Broome. We talked about Janai Broome. He's another one of those super seniors playing his last college basketball in Auburn. 6'10". He's averaging 19 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. He does it all for the Auburn Tigers. Probably is going to be the National Player of the Year, either him or Cooper Kupp.
Flag.
Flag. I said
so you over here watching on NFL free agents.
Think about it. It comes to mind. Both on white. Both on white. Let me stop. Cooper Flag. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's going to be either Janai Broome or Cooper Flag. Either a flag or a broom. Both sticks.
Both sweeping.
Both sticks. Either way, somebody's going to be a National Player of the Year. I'm leaning a little bit towards Janai Broome, too. I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards him. He had some hell of a performances this year. He's played better competition.
Yeah.
I know Duke beat them, but that was so many months ago. But Auburn has been feasting. They've been playing good ball. And when this man plays well, 9 times out of 10, they're going to win the ball game.
I agree.
You agree with that?
One thing I want to circle back to the Maryland kid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know him, but I do see they're ranked 11. I haven't watched Maryland too much. I actually said I wanted to catch a few of their games because Angel Reese's brother actually plays for Maryland.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, she actually started off at Maryland herself and then transferred
Yeah.
to LSU. So I'm gonna have to catch up some of the games. I feel like I love the fact that you gave some love to a unknown name when it's so many names that we're all so familiar with. So you actually got my attention with that, and I'm gonna have to catch a Maryland game now.
I want y'all to get, because the boy, he's a great player. He's gonna be a top pick in the draft. I don't know how high, but I think he will go like top 15. Yeah, he's a good player, definitely.
I'm gonna have to watch. I haven't checked out any of the Maryland games, but I was saying that because she was highlighting her brother on something, and I was like, you know what? Let me see, because I'm a SEC girl. I'm a Southern girl. I want to watch Southern football. I want to watch Southern basketball. I want to eat Southern food. But I have to diversify my palate, so I definitely want to check out other teams, other competitions as well. So.
It's actually some games going on. You know how like the Gonzaga and the St. Mary's, all those teams play late. A lot of these teams play late. Oregon's another good team too. I didn't talk about them.
Oregon was good last year too. Now.
Yep. And they caught my eyeball because they beat Alabama early in the season. But it's a lot of teams we don't really see a lot because they play late. Us being on Central Time, I think you on East, right?
Yeah, Eastern Standard.
Yeah, but the West Coast teams, we don't really see them a lot because the game come on 10, 11 o'clock where we at, and you probably just have to see the highlights. But when this tournament starts, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be some Cinderella stories. You got any Cinderellas that we didn't talk about? Any team we didn't talk about that you want to put out there before we close out?
I want to give the Memphis Tigers some love. I love my guy Penny Hardaway. I think he's done a phenomenal job with that program. I think they could be a Cinderella story in the tournament. Just kind of depends on the matchup. He has some shooters. He is a very similar shooting defensive type of technique with his coaching, but he also has some pretty athletic players too. So he will be one of the, well, I won't say his team, the Memphis Tigers, will be one of my sleeper pick in the men bracket.
Okay. I like it. Shouts out to Penny Hardaway, man. He's doing a great job over there in Memphis. That's another team that could beat anybody at any given moment. Like you say, when the bracket comes out, we'll probably be able to talk. You'll be somewhere overseas, out of the country when the bracket comes out. So I don't know how that works. Whenever you come back, wherever we at, I mean, we may be in the second round when you come back. But we're gonna
come
have
on now. You ain't gotta treat me like that, man.
Well, I'm just saying, you're gonna be gone for a week. You're gonna miss the whole first round.
I'm going. I think I'm gonna miss the first round. I come back like the 23rd or the 24th. Just kind of depend on an hour, I think.
Just in time for the second round. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to catch back up probably.
Yes.
Doing the Sweet 16 or something like. We're gonna have to definitely catch back up because this has been great. And also, I want to put this out there. Anybody who want to join, anybody want to get down, we are having the March Madness Bracket Challenge, just like I do each and every year. It's a $20 buy-in. It's only gonna be 10 people. So once we get 10, we got 2 on the screen now. So only 8 more. only 8 more slots
and
left.
Don't pick Auburn.
Yeah. That's exactly. I mean, you can pick them if you want to.
I'm a witness. They'll let you down.
You want to pick them if you want to. But anyway, $20 buy-in, 10 contestants, $200 grand prize. Brackets are filled out on the ESPN Fantasy app. You must be locked into the Sports Talking with JB group. Once you say I'm in, I'll get you in, lock you in, send the payment to the cash out, lock in your brackets. The winner will be notified and paid on that Tuesday following the national championship game. Let's have fun and may the best, luckiest bracket win. That's all I got to say about that.
You do men and women or just men?
We're going to do the men. If we do the women, you might win that too easily. But I do a women for fun, though. We're going to do a women one for fun.
I actually lost both of them last year.
So you did who? Wait a minute. Who won a national championship level? South Carolina?
Yeah, I chose South Carolina as number 1, but I chose them to go against UConn, and it ended up being Iowa. In my opinion, a controversial foul against Paige Bucket.
Oh, y'all remember that now? Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? You know we had to do what was best for business. You know how that goes.
Exactly. Oh, what a surprise!
That
Iowa
goes.
versus South Carolina. Who would have thunk
Mhm.
it?
All right, so blind bracket. We don't have the brackets. Before we go, give me your final four for the women first, and then the men. So give me your final, just a guess. Give me your final four.
All right, it's gonna be very much not make sense because they're coming out the same brackets. But I will pick UCLA,
Mm,
South Carolina, UConn, and USC.
okay, not necessarily. Let's see, because I
I think
actually
I think UCLA and USC will knock each other out, but South Carolina and UConn both have their own path to get there.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm looking at the. This is not the official bracket, but this is like the bracketology.
Hmm.
Okay, so in the actually UCLA and USC are in two different brackets.
Okay, so it might
Mhm.
work out for me.
So they're two number one seeds. And who are the other two teams you picked?
South Carolina
Okay, so they okay. And who
and
else?
UConn.
Where's UConn? They must be a two seed. I don't see UConn. So they actually got Texas as a one. Okay. So all of those teams are in different brackets. So you do have a very legitimate Final Four.
Yes,
Very legit.
won't
I
he
like
do it?
that. I'm gonna piggyback. I'm gonna ride with you.
I appreciate that.
Don't steer me wrong.
Don't put all that pressure on me after I said it,
I'm writing this down, Jocelyn. I'm writing this down. Those four teams you just said, those better go to the Final Four. I'm
Have
taking
I
your
not
word
been
for it.
through enough today?
I don't. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm talking about your Final Four pick. You gave me South Carolina, UConn, UCLA, USC. That's what we want. That's what the people want to see.
You know what? In my young Miami voice, hell yeah, yeah.
Let's get it
Let's
then.
do it. Let's
I'm
do
putting
it.
my money. So everybody watching this, put your money on those 14. One of those 14s are going to be the national championship out the women's bracket. You feel confident in that?
You know what? Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes.
About a 90%.
I'm
90.
gonna go with 95. If I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna do it big.
Okay, 95. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm with you on that. All right, for the men's.
It
Ooh.
gets complicated.
Go ahead. Give me 14s out the men. Give me four. Give me your final four.
It gets complicated. I'm gonna go with Alabama just because I'm loyal. Me and Mark Sears got that in common. And then I'm gonna go with Auburn.
Okay.
I ain't like that, but I'll keep going. I'll
Go
go
ahead.
with Duke.
Okay.
And then in a wild card, I am going to choose. Ooh, I don't know.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of somebody that ain't ranked that high.
It's hard, ain't it? It's
I
hard to
definitely
do
ain't
that.
going with BYU. Maybe I'll choose
Mm.
Michigan State.
Michigan.
They ranked number 7. I like Tom Izzo. He might can pull some out.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think he'll go that far, but you never know.
You know what? Michigan State always plays hard. When they get in the tournament, that's a team that can up. Michigan State is one of those teams. They've been consistently a team that plays hard, though. They are. They do play hard. So,
I just feel like with college basketball, especially the men's part of it, like it is so unpredictable.
oh
Like
yeah,
how you said, the number 1 seed could go down. You can have a Kansas that's sneaking in. It's just they're very hard to predict.
man. I'm looking at it now. Like the
Cause like think about it, UConn was the champion last year. We ain't said nothing about UConn.
yeah, because UConn ain't. I don't even see UConn on the bracket. I don't
Cause
even
they're
see
not.
UConn. Exactly. Thank my point exactly. So I mean, I'm gonna go Alabama.
Okay, I knew that.
I'm not picking Auburn. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
I
not.
knew that as
I'm not.
well.
I'm not picking Auburn. Uh, whew.
See, you get a
Let
little
me.
tough after that.
I know. I'm trying to think. Let me go Memphis. You said something about Penny Hardaway. Let me go Memphis as a sleeper. I'm trying to give me a sleeper.
All right, okay. I'm gonna roll
Yeah,
with it because I like Penny.
Yeah, let me go Memphis. Uh, I like Florida. I said a lot about Florida, but let me go Texas Tech.
Okay, you going
Texas,
rogue on me. All right. Throw
okay.
me a little. I like
Texas
to
Tech.
have a
I'll
little
throw a little
spiciness
curve.
in my life, you know.
And let me go Tennessee. Let me go Tennessee. I think Tennessee upsets Duke.
Yeah, I don't really think Duke is going to be that great of a
Yeah,
team. It just to me it depends on their bracket.
yeah. I could be wrong about Memphis. I could be wrong about Memphis. It could possibly be Michigan State, Jocelyn, because Michigan State is actually projected to be a 2 seed, and
Mm.
they're going to probably be in that Atlanta South bracket with Auburn.
I mean, they kind of got a chance. Memphis, but Memphis would definitely be a sleeper pick, and I can see it happening.
Let
I
me
don't
change
know
my
if
mind.
but
Okay. Memphis is a sleeper, but let me go Michigan State with you. All right,
okay.
all right. I'm gonna go
Tom
Michigan.
Izzo pretty good. I think he can coach them through.
Yeah, yeah. Let me go Michigan State. Let me go Michigan State. Let me go Texas Tech. Let me go Tennessee, and let me go Alabama for my
That's
Final Four.
very SEC heavy right there.
There's only two. There's only two SEC teams in the Final Four: Tennessee, Alabama. Then you
Okay.
got Michigan State, Texas Tech.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
I like it. I agree with it. I don't know if I would take Auburn out.
So you putting Auburn in. Who you gonna take out? It got to be Michigan State because they probably gonna be in the same bracket.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm with it. I'm with it. I like it. I like it. So this is just something because the brackets don't officially come out till Sunday.
Someday.
Yeah, Sunday. So we'll probably come. I'll probably look at this on Sunday and say, damn, we were so wrong. But I mean, it's all for the love of the game. This is all
That's true.
predictions. This is all about what we think is going to happen. This is going to be something to watch though for like the next 3 to 4 weeks because this tournament ain't even started yet. We got the women's tournament is over, but the
Yeah.
men's conference tournaments. The men's conference tournaments start tomorrow actually. So it is what it is. What's up, Kat? I did put my DNA on the thank you. She hit the like button. So everybody put your DNA on the like button, like Kat did. And she was late, but roll tide. We heavy on the Bama.
Always.
Heavy on the Bama.
Always.
Um, always heavy on the Bama. So to everybody, please hit the like button. Share it with your people. Subscribe to the channel. This has been a great show. We done spent the past hour and a half talking strictly not Alabama,
Oh, come
strictly
on, man.
men and women basketball March Madness preview. This has been great. Jocelyn, anything else you want to say? Because I
One,
feel
I'm
like we covered a lot.
always grateful to be on the show with you. It's always such a good time. I love talking sports. Be sure to check me out, Jocelyn Knows Sports. I'm on IG. It's Jocelyn Knows Sports. I'm on TikTok. It's Jocelyn Knows Sports. Um, I will be out of action for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. I'll miss the first part of the tournament, but hopefully you guys can kind of keep me sped up on what I know was my predictions right, or like, girl, sit down somewhere. You just out here pulling stuff out of the hat. So I'm very excited, very grateful, and always support my friend JB. He's such a great person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tips and donations below for the cash out if you can. Follow this woman, man. Follow her. She's great. Actually, let me put this on the screen one more time about the book. One more time because I
Thank you.
can.
Thank
Because
you.
I can. #1 Amazon bestseller. Go get the book, Successful Women's Devotional. Jocelyn Thomas has wrote something in the book. I will be getting my copy.
Thank you.
I want the hard copy. I want you to sign it. How about that?
Well, I would sign it with love and be honored.
Okay.
Jocelyn knows sports, but Jocelyn also knows life. So, and you've been there through a good part of my journey
Yeah.
of life. So I would love to sign it. And just email me if anybody would like a copy of the book. I am a best-selling author, which is crazy. But my email is Jocelyn Chandre. That's my middle name. Don't make fun of that. At gmail.com. And I would happily and honorably sign this copy of this book for you with love.
So what I'm gonna do after this, I'm gonna put it in the bio of the show. You know, at the bottom in the descriptions, just send me your email and the link to the book, and I'll put it in the bio of the show of this show. This
Okay.
episode right here. Yeah. I'll do that. So I mean, that's it. We got it all covered. We didn't cover everything, all the sleepers, all the favorites, all the players, the teams who can make a run. This has been a great show, Jocelyn. I appreciate you, everybody, for watching, everybody in the chat. And we about to get out of here, man. Much love to everybody. This is one of the biggest months of the year, especially in sports.
Yes.
It's fun. It's just fun to watch. March Madness is gonna be crazy. I know next week you're gonna be off somewhere enjoying yourself. I'm gonna be at work, but I'm gonna have my iPad set up. I'm gonna have the TV right here. I'm gonna have my phone right there on the tripod. I'm watching every game I can. Every game I can. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. I'm JB. That's Jocelyn Thomas right there, and we out of here. Y'all have a good night and much love to everybody.